Hey guys, it's Ben. It is Tuesday afternoon, late in the day. Been working out most of the morning, putting up with my crazy family, etc. So first of all, I'm excited. I've been in touch with other creators in Comicsgate. They've all provided some awesome words of encouragement and sharing stuff out and all. And first of all, I wanted to say thank you. That means the world to me. One of the reasons I was procrastinating originally launching this is due to my own just anxiety about whether or not we'll be able to succeed or at least make enough money to produce something, So it's just been, it's nice. It's nice to see other people taking notice. So anyway, let's see. Outlaw Knights is going to be coming to Indiegogo on September 24th. It is a story that I've kind of had in the works for about 10 years. Really, it started off with the concept of, I guess, I hate to talk like this, but, it's like, it's the only way I can really describe it. It was based on my love of the mythos that surrounds what do you call it? The mythos surrounding like pirate stories, buccaneer, swashbuckling kind of stuff. I saw Pirates of the Caribbean for the first time when I was like 13. I remember when I went in, I was thinking like, okay, I'm not gonna really like this. This looks kind of lame. The whole genre in the past, the whole swashbuckle pirate thing, didn't really appeal to me when I was a kid. It seemed kind of lame. Whenever things become kind of famous tropes that everybody kind of plays off of, like in a pirate story, there's a guy with a peg leg, there's a guy with an eye patch. Way too much overuse of stupid things like R and all that. Like whenever stuff becomes like campy and stereotypical like that, I kind of back away. It doesn't really appeal to me. But Pirates of the Caribbean, the first movie, blew me away in multiple ways. It was like they took a new approach to an old genre that was pretty much extinct, and they kind of breathed some new life into it, and I thought that was really cool. Second and third one, not so much. Second and third one were fun for me because I'm a fan of the series and I'm a big fan of Jack Sparrow. I think that's a great character. So, I was pretty much willing to watch him in almost anything that he had appeared in after I saw the first Pirates. But, that being said, it's like the second and third one, they had their good moments, but all in all, they were doing that thing everybody was doing around that time, because that was around the time Return of the King came out and blew everybody's skulls off. And so, it's like you could tell Pirates was kind of trying to follow that trend a little bit. They were kind of they were going for the whole like, well, no, it needs to be an overarching trilogy. It needs to be a full-on huge storyline that it's going to take 3 movies to cover. But with that, it was a little sloppier because Pirates was made to be kind of a standalone movie, and it became more popular than they were expecting. So the writers kind of wrote in these really cheap ties to the first one. Again, repeating jokes does not, like, I don't know why people do this all the time in stuff. Like, you know, like, I can understand a running gag. I can understand a joke that gets told in repetition, but it's like it kind of builds, you know, or it kind of changes a little bit. You know, it's supposed to be like a catchphrase kind of thing. I know that that's a terrible way of describing it, but, you know. You know, other than that, I think, you know, this whole concept of like these people who want to, it's like they want to milk the joke for more, you know, and it comes off that way, at least to me. It comes off as like, okay, we couldn't think of a new joke or something more interesting to do, so we just kind of settled on, you know, rehashing the classics. Which, I mean, that goes in tandem with almost everything I've been talking about with video games and with movies. You know, it's this whole like, we've run out of ideas, so let's reuse old ideas, and it's like, nah. If I want to watch Pirates of the Caribbean #1, I'll watch Pirates of the Caribbean #1. I don't need Pirates of the Caribbean #5 to try to pretend like it's Pirates of the Caribbean #1. And, you know, again, it's like there comes a point where you kind of run out of steam in those areas. And really, you know, what I want to do with Outlaw Knights, #1, Outlaw Knights is a very different animal from Pirates of the Caribbean, I can assure you that. It's anti-heroes, and they're not done in that Disney fun kind of way. It's supposed to shed light on the fact that, you know, in reality, there really are no good guys and bad guys in most of these situations. It's like, or if there are, you know, perspective kind of changes everything. And that's really what I'm dealing with a lot in Outlaw Knights, but I'm breaking a lot of the tropes, because the characters in Outlaw Knights are pirates, but they're not stereotypical pirates. They're essentially what pirates are. They're smugglers, they're outlaws, they're criminals. Kind of an organized crime deal, but not quite as organized, I guess. Somewhat libertarian view of organized crime, I guess. Really, what I wanted to do with Outlaw Knights, the first 6 issues are gonna focus on an overall arc of where they're going to. But, like, I'd like to continue the series after that, and the way I'd like to do it after that, I'd like to make it more episodic, because I feel like the genre lends itself to that. I feel like when you're dealing with a genre, particularly when you dealt with some of the themes in the first Pirates of the Caribbean that most people don't remember, because part of the curse of Disney, a lot of flash. There's not too much well, okay, I take that back. There's a lot of memorable dialogue in old Disney. There's a lot of memorable dialogue in, like, the first Pirates of the Caribbean. Not so much in its sequels. I think that I think what I'd like to do. Oh yeah, I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought. So anyway, Jack Sparrow, the character, the way as I understood it from particularly the beach scene between Jack Sparrow and Elizabeth Swann, the way I understood that whole messaging was that Jack Sparrow's ultimate motivation is what I would consider like the romantic motivation of everyone who contemplates, you know, this whole romanticized life of crime deal, where it's the idea of he's a free man in every respect, in that he does not bow to anyone. He does not answer to anyone. He goes where he wants, when he wants, and, you know, to hell with anything that gets in the way, kind of thing. And I felt like that spirit, you know, there was a little bit of depth in that character that I wanted to see fleshed out more, that they really didn't go for. They decided, we're just gonna stick with the comedy bits. We're just gonna make Jack more silly, which, you know, it was like, it was funny, and at the same time it bugged me. It really did kind of bug me, because I felt like there was room for some depth there. There was room for some growth that they didn't really take advantage of. It's too much, again, Disney, you know, foregoing storytelling for the sake of, well, the fans asked for this, put that in the movie. Except when it comes to Star Wars. When it comes to Star Wars, it's to hell with the fans. But anyway, thank you so much for sitting through this meandering monologue. I am Ben here once again telling you that Outlaw Knights is coming out on September 24th, Indiegogo. Be sure to catch it. We're going to be running it for about 180 days. So there's going to be plenty of time to get in on it. Anyway. Thank you so much, guys. I will talk to you tomorrow.